Shalom, Yeshiva Lev Torah family and friends. We have had some very, very difficult days recently. Yesterday, the most difficult of them all since the beginning of the war. 21 of our finest soldiers were Moser Nefesh for Klal Yisrael. They gave their lives and they were killed in Gaza. Our heart goes out to them, to their families, and it makes us think very often. We hear these tragedies and we ask, where's the Kadosh Baruch Hu? Our emunah sometimes is affected a little bit. How do we maintain our emunah to the highest level possible? These parshot are parshot of emunah. Our basis for emunah is the parashat of Yetziat Mitzrayim, Matan Torah, exactly the parshot that we're in right now. And in this week's parsha, after 10 of the Makot, we reach a crescendo, reach the highest of the height. We reach a point of Vayiminu B'Hashem Moshe Avdo, that Am Yisrael, all of Am Yisrael believed in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Medrash talks about that Afilu Shivcha Bayam Ra'a Ma Shelo Ra'a Yechezkel Ben Buzi, that even a maidservant at Yam Suf, she saw more than Yechezkel ben Buzi, than one of the greatest prophets who saw the Maaseh Merkava, the chariot, the Shekhinah itself. How do we understand this? Because immediately afterwards, so there wasn't water for a few days, and Bnei Yisrael complain. They get to some bitter waters, they complain. They don't pray to Kadosh Baruch Hu, please help us. They complain as if Hashem is not going to help them. After all the promises, after everything that Hashem showed them, the Eser Makot and this vision, which is greater than the vision of the Maaseh Merkava, still they don't have full emunah. They go back to their default setting, as we all do, very often when things don't go the way that we are expecting or hoping or praying for them to go. How does that work? And what's the antidote for that? So immediately after this, and you show it's not just Kriyat Yam Suf, Matan Torah. What's greater than that? That's the highest level. A level where the V'kol Am Ro'im et HaKolot ve'et Lapidim, they see the voices, a level that we cannot even comprehend. And right after, 40 days later, Cheder Egel. So how does this happen? And what's the antidote? The antidote to that, perhaps, is another miracle that happens, which is a much more subtle miracle. It's a daily miracle. In fact, it's a daily miracle. For 40 years in the Midbar, they have this miracle on a daily basis. It's the man, this bread of faith that HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides for Am Yisrael every single day while they're in the Midbar. It's a very, very different miracle than the miracle of Kriyat Yam Suf, of Matan Torah. Kriyat Yam Suf is one-time amazing event. Matan Torah, an event that never was before, never will be like that in the history of the world. And yet, afterwards, it just doesn't stay. But the man is a day in, day out, like a korban tamid, like every single day. The constant avodas Hashem. That is something that the man represents. It's that constant miracle that's with us all the time. Not great fireworks, not great fame, but a very modest miracle that happens on a daily basis. And it teaches us that our avodas Hashem needs to be constant. That we come to Israel for the year. We come to Yeshiva Lev Torah. We have a spectacular event that really gets us sparked and going. And then we go back to our default settings. But it's the day in, day out, davening and learning every single day that makes a Kadosh Baruch Hu part of our lives. The Kotzker Rebbe was once asked, where do you find a Kadosh Baruch Hu? And he answered, wherever you let him in. So I would say a little bit different. I mean, not to go against the Kotzker, but to add to the Kotzker. Where do you find the Kadosh Baruch Hu? Wherever you look for him, because he's everywhere. You need to look for him, and then you'll find him everywhere. The man was that challenge. Every single day, Kadosh Baruch Hu was there. You go. If you change the rules a little bit, so then a Kadosh Baruch Hu will change the rules as well. So where do you find the Kadosh Baruch Hu? Wherever you look for him. There are little things that happen in our lives. 2 days ago, I was zocha to be at a beautiful wedding. Sam Kirshner married Deborah Cooper Smith. It was a beautiful wedding in Netanya, and one of the alumni asked me for a ride back to Ramat Beit Shemesh. From there, he would travel to Yerushalayim, and from there to Machon Lev in Yerushalayim, Shmuel Len. So we gave him a ride, and on the way back, all of a sudden, he realized that there's no bus that late from Ramat Beit Shemesh. What's he going to do? So we figured out we'll just stop along the way and catch a bus along the way. So we stopped at Latrun. It Happened to be that the Waze took me at a longer route than it was supposed to. So we got there even later than we were supposed to. And somehow, the moment he left the car, another car stopped, picked him up, and where was he traveling? To Machon Lev. Now, you could say that's a coincidence. You could say whatever you want. But I would say that a person who went to do the mitzvah of the Sameach Hatan V'Kala, to be Mesamech his friend, Sam, on his wedding day, may they build a bayit Neman B'Yisrael, Sam and Deborah. And so he was zoche to see the Yad Hashem, to see that Kadosh Baruch Hu's hashgacha was there on a daily basis. Where do you find Hashem? Wherever you look for him. Kadosh Baruch Hu was there. The man teaches us that on a daily day basis, you don't need the great miracles to believe in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You don't need the Matan Torah times to believe in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. They're important to strengthen our emunah at times. But the open miracles, not every day in Gaza do you have a person throwing a fiery tuna can into a pier and blowing up a bunch of terrorists like it happened famously in the beginning of the war. You're not going to have that every day. It's important to know that those days are there as well. It's important to know that we have Kriyat Yamsuf moments and Matan Torah moments, Mamad Har Sinai moments. But really our life is more like the man. It's day in, day out. Recognition that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is with us every day, all day, and wherever we look for him, we will find him there. May everyone have a wonderful Shabbos. Mezrat Hashem, we should have Besorah Tovot. Our soldiers should be safe. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bring them home and the hostages home. May we have Besorah Tovot, Yeshuot, B'nechamot.